What's going on, Grizz fans? It's the Ortho South Countdown to Camp. Michael Wallace, Rob Fischer. We know what time of the year it is. Training camp is right around the corner. Media day is fastly approaching.
We got questions.
And we got questions. We got questions.
A
lot of questions, but we also know the expectation for this team is right there where it needs to be as a contender in the Western Conference. But when you go through the questions that this team is going to face going into media day and training camp, among them is Desmond Bane and Fischer and Adams, two guys that we know when they're right, this team is a title contending team. But they both are coming off of some off-season rehab and some issues that they had to deal with injuries. But as you go into this training camp and as you go into the early part of the season, what's a realistic expectation in terms of where you set for Fischer and Des?
Well, I think the biggest question for media days is to Fischer and Adams. How you feeling? Because we haven't really heard from Fischer and Adams. I talked to Desmond Bane draft night. He said he was feeling great. So that was great progress and great to see for him. So I'm expecting him to be ready to go. I'm hoping and expecting Fischer and Adams to be ready to go when the season starts. And if that happens and both of these guys are healthy, it's just huge for this team, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the guys that you want starting in that lineup. But what Fischer and Adams brings with the rebounding, first and foremost, is incredible. He is the better player in his matchup almost every night. Almost every night. There are a few exceptions that can make it really hard on Fischer and Adams, where he'll still hold his own. But he's the better player almost every night. And then Desmond Bane. Let's think about this. Desmond Bane got hurt last year in the 6th game. He took a game, didn't take a game off. He sat a game. He was set down for a game, and then he went back and he tried to play 6, and then he was shut down for 18. So he really played 6 healthy games last year. 6. Half of them, he scored over 30 points.
Yeah.
So what I expected, Desmond Bane was really good last year. I expected Desmond Bane All-Star last year. And while he was really good, he didn't reach that level. He did in the first 6 games of the season when he was healthy. And if he would have continued on, I think you would have seen an All-Star Desmond Bane. That's the Desmond Bane I'm expecting this year. And I'm looking forward to it, to see him take another step in his career. And just like Fischer and Adams, the playmaking that he can do as well just helps his team so much offensively. Grizzlies have had their starting lineup, their starting 5,
Right.
for 21 games the last 2 years combined.
Okay.
21 games they've had their starting 5 the last 2 years combined. Now, this year you're going to go 25 games without your starting 5 with Ja being out. But in those last 57, can you get your starting lineup to play 30? 30? I mean, in how, because then you go into the postseason. Grizzlies haven't gone into the postseason the last 2 years as the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Right.
Can they get the starting lineup to play 30 games, and can they go into the postseason healthy? And these 2 guys are a big part of that.
When you talk about that, though, to me, despite having the availability of those primary starting 5 lineup, you're talking about the depth, though, because this team still achieves because it's really good at home.
Yes.
And they really have some great depth. So when you look at the depth and what the depth look like behind Des and behind Steven, you're looking at a handful of big guys that are all ready to look at trying to get some minutes going into the preseason. When you look at where the depth stands behind Steven up front, what do you see for the Grizzlies?
Let's not forget Xavier Tillman. I mean, first of all, when Fischer Adams is at center, you're going to have Jaren play at center a lot. So I don't even know how much you need another. I mean, those will be your 2 primary guys playing the big position. Xavier Tillman, when I need him, he's there for me every single time. So it's great to have that depth there. That's part of that depth that you're talking about. I mean, you were without Fischer Adams last year, and Xavier Tillman came in and he was fantastic. So to have that depth is great at that position. With Des, it's open. I mean, it's open. And a lot of guys, it's open for. And what you want to see this training camp, because I don't think we saw it last year, and we wanted to see it. Someone take it.
Yeah.
Someone take it. Someone own that spot. Someone want that spot and take it to where the coaches have no other choice but to play you.
Right.
That's what you want to see happen in camp, and hopefully one of those guys will take that.
And you have opportunities and you have options. This is going to be an interesting camp because guess what? Marcus Smart, Derrick Rose weren't here this time a year ago. Luke Kennard wasn't here this time a year ago. They traded for him midway through the season.
And he's going to have a different role,
he's going to have a different role as well, too. So, and then now you look at where you are with those guards and what that rotation looks like behind Desmond Bane. There's some opportunity there. We know the numbers are there behind Fischer Adams and alongside Fischer Adams at the center position and up front as well, too. So there's plenty of questions. We're hopefully starting to get some answers really, really soon, starting with media day, and then training camp opens as well. And then before you know it, The October 25th home and season opener will be right here upon us against the Pelicans.
Before you say goodbye.
Right here at FedEx Forum.
Sorry. Before you say goodbye, I don't want to forget Junior.
No, we're not forgetting.
I'm
Junior.
excited to see what he's going to do this season. Another year in his development, where it takes him. Because we see that last game of the year last year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he put on a show.
Yeah,
It was incredible what he did. So I want to see him take that next step again. See if he can find a spot in the rotation. See if there's a spot for him to play. And I think that'll be fun to watch as we go along too. So shout out Junior. I didn't want to forget Junior.
You weren't gonna forget Junior.
Yeah.
And if you followed the countdown to camp, the Ortho South countdown to camp, we covered Junior. We covered all of the big storylines. So Junior, check that box. We had him covered. But listen, come back and follow all of our training camp coverage all week long at grizzlies.com and grindcitymedia.com.